Well, we're in pretty dire straits at the moment. Goals flying in against us away from home, and with 10 games to go in the Danish Superliga season, this is almost last chance saloon to try and save our title defence. Can we do it as we play the top two? Well, let's go and find out. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 37 of Rebuilding Viborg with me, Daniel. We are back today to face the top two in the Danish Superliga. Copenhagen and Nordsjaelland in back-to-back home games, our first two after the Liga split. But we are 9 points behind the leaders, 4 points behind Copenhagen, and miles behind on goal difference. Add to that, we've got the usual spate of ineligible players who are on loan from today's opponents, and then a couple of injuries to add into the mix too. And this is all turning into a very difficult end to the season. If you want to see what's been going wrong off the pitch, then please do put a thumbs up on the video and subscribe for daily FM22 content. We're still pushing ahead to try and win the Danish Cup, the one domestic trophy that's eluded us so far. But a defence of the league title is looking a long way away. You can find links to all the other key playlists up in the eye above, as well as some of our FM23 save ideas. We'll be back with another one of those tomorrow. But thank you for watching as always, as we head to see what has been a disaster class defensively on the road. Now, sometimes we have different versions of disasters, of shocking performances, of shocking outcomes. I don't think we can disagree on this one, because if we go and have a look at the schedule, our last two away games, we have conceded 4 goals, both against sides we would expect to beat. Our dents were in the bottom half, and despite scoring 5 goals in 2 away games, we've lost them both. And if we're being honest, looking at us 9 points off the top now, it's probably what's cost us the title. Yes, we got a couple of home wins in between, but this run of 4 games has coincided with some bad news on the injury front. So you were with me for the second leg of Australia as we won 1-0. It was a valiant effort, but we were already out because of the 2-0 first leg defeat. Away to Odense though, it all went wrong. Terry Taylor got a nice goal, his first for the club I believe, and Daniel Harbo scored one too. We were soundly beaten and suffered yet another European hangover, despite the game being moved 4 days later for a Monday night kickoff. The next week, we did put it right, just at home. Hayden Carter got a goal, as did Luca Cannell. But it was pretty tense. We weren't convincing at all. Against Lyngby, we had problems. You may notice a slight change to our defensive setup. Real picked up an injury. He's still out at the moment. And Hayden Carter was unavailable due to an injury too. And boy did that have an effect against Randers. Another 4 goals conceded on the road. Navicki and Beck had put us ahead twice in the first 10 minutes. And Jurchin Rothman thought he'd got us a point with 5 minutes to go off the bench, and we still somehow threw it away. It's absolutely astonishing, and probably the worst defensive spell I've had since we've been in charge. Some of the goals we conceded were infuriating, so all the focus now, if we don't get 2 wins today, we'll have to go on to the Danish Cup. Let's have a quick look on the way through to the first game of the youth intake, because that's just as bad a bit of news, I'm afraid. One very average goalkeeper, the rest of the team absolutely awful. So we're not getting any stars out of that. We're not getting many performances on the pitch. So let's go and see the team we can put out today. And we're 1 player depleted as well. If we go through to the fixtures against Copenhagen, they will have available to them a player that we've had most of the year. It's Emil Merler, who maybe isn't registered for their league games, but he was recalled for not playing enough football, despite having started a week earlier. Very strange situation that. But let's go and pick our team. We're going to have to make changes. Fingers crossed, after a big international break and a big reset, we can find some defensive form with Hayden Carter back in the team. And as we come to the team news, we probably need to mention someone else we will not be seeing again in this save. Yes, in this save. Let me just quickly chuck Mesic in for Jakobsen. Experience all aboard today. But Anderson, the centre-half we signed in January, one of the few shining lights in recent weeks, just picked up the 6 to 7 month injury, a damaged spine. He is out for a long time. His physicals have been harmed. It's just awful news, isn't it? Let's be honest. Add to that today that Real and Behrens are injured too. Palmer and Park can't be in the squad. Palmer, I still think, is our top scorer. In fact, he is. And if you look at the bench, I mean, we're down to the bare bones. Let me just see if the under-19s keeper is free, just to make us slightly stronger there. No, he's not. He's ineligible. He's in a squad for something else today. So we are down to this. And if I take out the unavailable players, you see the scale of the problem. Winther is the only player not in the squad who is fit enough to be in there. And that includes a greyed out keeper sitting on the bench. Our 11 in full. And I'm tempted to take Messick out again. I'm going to do it for Carlson. I really don't know who the centre-half partner is. We've struggled there so much in recent weeks. And that's made the Anderson injury all the more annoying. Because I thought we were finally going to be back to first choice. But we've got Lerche in goal for this one. And Yemby and Schröder the fullbacks. Carlson and Carter. He's not quite fully fit, but he'll do for now as centre-half. Witt, Harbo and Cannell the midfield three. Navicki, Beck and Rothman the front three. We're so much weaker than we were a couple of months ago. We just have to hope we can produce a miracle. If we don't win this and the Nordsjaelland game, I can't see us winning a title. Well, a number of enforced changes for us. Copenhagen are strong. Nygren up front, Horta, Stager in midfield, Jesus Falajo centre-half and Kalle Olsen in goal. The former Helsingborg keeper we had at our first club in this save. Anthony Robinson can't even make it into the starting lineup. This is such a strong side. I'd be interested actually to see if they're still in Europe. Because they were flying the flag, weren't they, into the last 16. Let's have a look. Oh, they are. They got past Besiktas and they're playing Burnley. I think we understand why they're resting a couple now. Let's go and get into this one though. It is a big game for us. But for Copenhagen, this could be one hell of a week. Let's tell the lads to go and prove a point. Most are motivated. Now can they prove it on the pitch? Well, it's been a boring 16 minutes, but we're back for a first highlight, and unfortunately, it's a dangerous Copenhagen free kick, which is put into the front post. And I tell you what, Lerche may have saved that first one, but we've talked about him a lot in the comments this season. He palmed that straight back into the danger, got away with one for sure, and it stays goalless, but it looks all Copenhagen again. We've generally been battered by them in most games in this save. We have managed to nick a couple of results, some smash and grabs, but we've very scarcely dominated a game like this. And rightly so, they're on a massive budget. The ball's into Hagen, that's a better save. But he can't stop the second one. Yes, it was a good save to keep it out first time. But then he flew 10 yards to the right of his goal. The rebound, just an empty net to be passed into. And Copenhagen, inevitably I guess, have now got the lead. We are out of the title race. Though we are back at the other end with a set piece quickly. Headed away as far as Daniel Harbo. The former Copenhagen man, not able to do much yet, as Cannell switches it to Hayden Carter. Stayed up from that set piece, finds Harbo and Navicki. Into the box he goes, up to Beck at the back stick, down to Luca Cannell. And his shot's over the bar. Oh, he leant back. All he had to do was guide that into the corner. And he tried to smash it full power. Not the right approach. It stays 1-0. And we can't even get a full house for this one. It shows how far off the pace we are. As Copenhagen have a free kick. Another dangerous position. I thought that had gone through him. I would have been having a proper tantrum if that had gone in. Let's get to half time. 1-0's not a disaster. But the performance and the nature of Copenhagen's dominance probably is a little more. Let's get through the dressing room. Let's tell the lads we want more. And most of them still anxious and frustrated. There's no response. There's no mentality. And as we approach the hour mark, we've got a free kick from an apparent harsh decision according to the text commentary. But look who's back to save us. Hayden Carter at the back stick. The British players combine. Cannell delivers. Carter heads in. Oh, that's a lovely goal. It's an important one as well. But with 25 to go, there's got to be changes. And if we look at the subs, it's the usual suspects. Whoever's left centre-half, apart from the few games Anderson's played, we've really struggled. So I'm going to bring Ivan Messick on for him. In midfield, what do we do? Witt's having a poor game in the holding role. I could bring on Williamson. I could bring on Taylor. I'm going to bring on the latter. And then going forwards, what do we do? We've only got Hackford really. So he's going to have to come on for Jurchin Rothman. He's not going to be the saviour today. 25 left, we're on level terms. But boy, we don't really deserve it. And with just over 10 to go, I was about to make my final subs. But now we've got the superstition, a highlight. You never make tactical changes in a highlight or you concede. Carter gets the ball to Anyembi. Can we nick one again? What a time it would be to nick an undeserved win. Of course, there's still time to throw it away, even if we do score. Navicki down the right to the byline. Into the back post for Beck. About to come off, if we can find a replacement for him. He gets it back to Schröder. Lovely turn, great delivery. Hackford can't get there. Flavio Sampaio would have loved that sort of cross. And Yembian again though, doesn't beat the first man. Gets a second chance into Tobias Beck. Heads over the bar. Stays 1-1 with 10 to go. Now I have a decision to make. Carter's on a yellow card. He's knackered. He's just back from injury. I've got to take him off. I hate doing it. But we cannot have him injured for the rest of the year. Thomas Jakobsen will replace him. And then Ben Williamson or Oscar Burr. I'm going to go Oscar Burr right wing. Kasper Nowicki off. Gives us a bit more defensive protection, particularly in mind of Jakobsen. 9 minutes plus stoppage time to go. This could go either way now. And it looks like, if anything, it might be for the visitors because they've got possession from an attacking throw. Canel just hoofs it downfield, doesn't really get anywhere. And Copenhagen can get back on the front foot. Robinson, the sub, who we talked about pre-match, into Jonsson, who heads over. Good chance for the visitors to try and nick it. They've got fresher legs, they've got better players, and a deeper squad to choose from. Despite that, we've held on for what would have been a pretty credible point at any other time of the year. But now, it's probably not enough in truth. If we go and have a look at the league table after this, we're still going to be a long way behind. So here we are, following those games, going into the Nordsjaelland one. We are 8 points off the top, 4 off Copenhagen still after our draw with them. And it should be mentioned, they're still in with a shout in the Europa Conference. Lost 2-1 away at Burnley, Wout Weghorst doing what he does in FM. But otherwise, Copenhagen got a great shout at home. And it got a great shout in the title race. For us, a win today and we're 5 points behind. Basically 6 given the goal difference. It wouldn't be impossible with the 2 top teams played already. But you could say the same for them. You'd expect them to be consistent now. Let's get through to the fixtures as Matthew Reel is not fit to play at left back today. Let's see who else is available though. Palmer's back. As should Park be, but he wasn't fit last time. He is alright now. So Palmer is going to come in on the right wing. We're going to put Nowicki up front ahead of Rothman just because I actually want some depth on the bench. So Rothman will be there. We're going to have to put the keeper on again. Maybe we can pick Hansen today. I think we can. So Morten Hansen, the old second choice in the second division. He is back and available on the bench. We've got Rothman coming into the squad in place of... Oh, who? I mean, it's a hard choice at this point. I'm going to bring him in for Jakobsen. Messick will play centre-half instead of Carlson. And does Park go on the bench? I mean, Hackford's been awful this year since coming in. So I'm going to put Park on the bench. He's actually scored a goal for this club. The rest of the team will stay the same. So it is just Palmer and Messick coming into the starting 11. Let's see how we get on against leaders Nordsjaelland, as we have to win. 8 points will be too much if not. It could end up being 11, of course. Let's see which it is. 2 changes for us, 1 for them. Simon Banzer on the bench at the expense of Jake Roberts, the British wonder kid on loan from City. They've got a really good team. They've improved so much. And to be fair, their manager going to Copenhagen and Nordsjaelland since they lost him. I tell you what, they've both done really well. It's made the league stronger overall. So let's go and ask the lads to prove a point. Again, most of them motivated, but that didn't do that much against Copenhagen. So let's hope it has more of an impact today. Well, just 3 minutes on the clock and it's the visitors on the front foot already. Yildiz picking it up to Escalante. And you've got to think from a Nordsjaelland point of view, they're seeing a great opportunity to win the title here. They win this game, they put all the pressure on Copenhagen ahead of tomorrow as Silva gets to the byline, gives it away to Palmer. Little back heel to Harboat and he's released to Canel. This looks like a proper counter. Nowicki released down the right. There's options in the middle. Can he find them? Nowicki in. Tobias Beck with the header. Hits the bar, then the keeper, and then cleared away for a throw. Great start, but we couldn't take advantage. We're back just 30 seconds later for a goal kick as they are back on the front foot again. Clervo through to Roberts, must have been offside. Or did the left back play him on? Please let VAR save us. Schroeder's not first choice, of course. Don't let me down today. It is goal awarded. He must have played him on. A very frustrating and intense start here as we're in at the other end. And Palmer scored from a Luca Canel free kick. I thought he was onside. I thought again he was played on by the man at the back post. This could be instant equaliser, and it would be important, but it's not to be. Ruled out, Palmer was just offside, but you can see he's still our main goal threat. If we hadn't lost Sampaio, we'd be right in this title race, but we just can't score goals. Add to that our away record at the other end is not a good combination at all. We're throwing at the other end. Nordsjaelland looking to extend their lead. We've got a message to say Carter needs to close down Roberts, the scorer. Obviously lost him trying to play the offside trap earlier. Schroeder wasn't playing ball with that one. Going to try and encourage the lads because the confidence is shot. And just hope we can nick an equaliser before half time. Suggestion that Schroeder's now picked up a knock as well. We don't have a left back on the bench. Real's still injured. So we just try and nurse him through this game. Maybe we could put Messick out there, bring on a centre half. I don't know. But Messick's got the ball now. Playing out to Schroeder. Options down the line. Is he going to go back? No. Finds Beck. He can't really do much with that though because the pass came so late. Messick gives it to Vit. Inside to Carter. Let's hope his legs hold up as well because he's not the fittest at the minute. Harbo brings it forward. He's got space to run into. Finds Nowicki. Oh, and he's just not a natural goal scorer. He's not got that touch of a Rothman or a Sampaio where you just feel like 1 in 2 will go in. With him, it's more 1 in 4, 1 in 5, and we can't afford that the way we're playing. As it's a long ball forward which Schroeder heads away, and Cannell can get on the counter for us. Up to David Palmer, to Harbo, to Nowicki, has to score, does score! Kasper Nowicki hears me, the words were ringing in his ear, and he made sure he didn't miss that one. Round the keeper and into the corner, and we're level just before the break again. And that's the way it stays. Nordsjaelland have had at least twice the amount of shots on target, expected goals, and they've dominated the game. But we're in it. And at the moment, we're doing what we can. You've got to be honest, this is probably where we are as a side realistically. Last year was a bit of an outlier with the other sides playing in Europe till late on. Here, we are competing very strongly. But we are probably the 3rd or 4th best side in the league. That's the fact of the matter at the minute. Having said that, we've got a corner with Luca Cannell, and we could take the lead here and do. The defender misses his header. It falls for Hayden Carter. But no. Not the heroics with his head like against Copenhagen. He rifles it in right-footed on the volley. It's a brilliant finish, and we've got the lead. Boy, do we not deserve it. It's not going to be the last time I say that today, I think, as Paulson gives the ball to Marini. It's Nordsjaelland straight back on the front foot. This would really open up the title race if we can get a win here. Bring the gap down to 5 points. Pull Copenhagen back as well if they can't win after focusing on Burnley. But I might as well not have celebrated there because Roberts should have equalised. It was an open goal, doesn't take advantage, and it stays 2-1. But what subs can we make? Left winger is going to be Rothman for Beck. We're also going to take off Cannell on a yellow. He'll be replaced by Ben Williamson. Vit will be replaced by Terry Taylor. I'm going to bring on Carlson for Messick, who, again, all the centre-half struggling. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to bring on Carlson for Schroeder and put Messick out to left-back. The final sub, it's got to be Park for Palmer. He's not fit enough to do 90. He always gets injured. If we're going to stay in this title race, we need to protect him when we've got leads. We've got 16 minutes to go and Nordsjaelland are in possession. I didn't realise we were mid-highlight with the pending changes. I'm now very nervous. If this goes in, the superstition will very much live on. Long towards Roberts. Carter just hoofs it and it falls for Ciervo. Nice clearance, but not really what we needed at the moment. A little bit of composure wouldn't have gone amiss. Here's Paulson to Marini. Options inside of him. Escalante's one. Over the top to Roberts. Oh, it was going in. He has had a really poor day in front of goal. Despite his early opener, he's missed 2 great chances now. Lurche saves is a big moment for us. And the subs have been made as Williamson turns on the ball in midfield to Harbo and Park and Nowicki. Lovely football. Shots over the bar again. Never really looked confident, did he? 10 minutes to go. It stays 2-1. This is an awful position for a free kick. Yildiz, edge of the D. You know where this is going, don't you? Do we even need to say it? Oh, hits the crossbar. Goes for a corner. Did someone clear it away? Must have been Carlson. We get away with another one. We are now heading into stoppage time. Silva has a corner kick to the back post. It's headed across goal. Carlson clears. And Silva will pick it up on the right again. What can we do to save this game? If that had gone in, you'd have nothing to do other than applaud and berate your own luck. We're time wasting. We're getting through 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've been battered on the night. But that is a big, big win. Will it allow us to finish in a blaze of glory yet? The gap at the top is down to 5. Now let's go and see when we're going to be back. Well, that might have been a pretty good episode in terms of results on the pitch, despite pretty average performances. But we've got a big problem coming up. 4 of our next 5 league games are away from home, and that includes return fixtures against both of these two sides. So I'm not sure that we can get excited about being just 5 points behind, but if things are going well when we're next back, then maybe we can be. Don't forget, the main priority is that elusive Danish Cup, so we are going to be back for the second leg of that and the return fixture against leaders Nordsjaelland. Away from home is going to be much more difficult, and let's be honest, they played us off the park in that game. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on and you did enjoy this big episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on it and subscribe for daily FM22 videos. We're back tomorrow with more FM23 save ideas, another one of our new top 3s, and big for those of you that like a rebuild challenge. There's links to all the key playlists up in the eye above and to other platforms and ways to support the channel in the description below. But above my head now is our top 3 playlist, lots of tips, guides and save ideas for Football Manager players. Hopefully they're useful to you, and I'll see you next time for 2 more big games.